there are a handful of shows on Netflix that will take some time to forget, and we're not talking about the good ones here. On the flip side, we're talking about roles and actors who for some reason failed. Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Gabby with Binge Now. Today we're going over the top 5 Netflix shows with horrendously bad acting where the cast totally botched. Hey, don't get us wrong, the show itself might be good, but we're just highlighting some performances and characterizations that just did not make the cut. With that said, let's get started. By the way, if one of your favorite actors' names pops up, look away. You've been warned. Coming in at number 5, Finn Jones in Iron Fist. Netflix successfully entered the Marvel Cinematic Universe with very well done adaptations of Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Daredevil to name a few. Definitely not an easy task to impress fans and audiences who picked and dissect every bit while clamoring for more. So when Netflix announced the arrival of Iron Fist, the Kung Fu Zen master, expectations and hopes were quite high. However, the disappointment was understandably huge when the show failed to deliver on all fronts. It will have you dozing off throughout while you're left wondering whether you got enough to sleep the previous night. Yes, the show does have a few good action pieces which are done well, but besides those, the storyline is a bit of a drag and moves at an incredibly slow pace.
I was just wondering if maybe I can get a job with you.
I've already got someone who cleans up.
Lead actor Finn Jones's performance as Iron Fist only compounds the issues that this show presents. His completely unbalanced role, which deals only in extremes, switching from serious mugging scenes to childish outbursts, is an absolute fail.
Danny, what are you doing?
Oh, I used to stick stickers under my dad's desk.
Jones fails to add any semblance of depth to his character. Iron Fist is meant to be a hero who is emotionally conflicted with the tough choices he has to make, but in this case, it comes through as, in plain words, a spoiled brat who pleaded with his parents to give him superpowers for his birthday.
I'm sorry, that's not possible.
I'm Danny Rand, son of Wendell Rand.
The story is about Danny Rand, who was presumed to be dead for 15 years, makes his return to the Big Apple, NYC, where he is immediately faced with the choice of his duties as Iron Fist or the legacy of his family. The first 13 episodes of the show drag on for so long that it might not have you wanting to root for the hero Iron Fist. Next up on our list at number 4, Will Arnett in Flaked. When you hear the name Will Arnett, one rarely associates the actor to a performance that has just not been up to the mark. He stole the show with his supporting roles on popular comedy shows like 30 Rock and Arrested Development.
Ready!
So the expectation was that when he found the main role for himself in his own comedy, that it would quite definitely deliver the goods.
I'm not what I look like I am!
Netflix announced the arrival of Flaked, a story based around a recovering alcoholic and self-help guru who is having a hard time keeping his life in one piece and is all over the place. This got many people excited, thinking that this would finally be Arnett's big break, his time to take the spotlight. Sadly, all 14 episodes of Flaked turned out to be an epic disaster.
Come on, I don't have time for this.
The show is dull and almost unwatchable, leaving both fans and the audience disappointed. The conclusion many viewers arrived at was perhaps Arnett was more suited to shorter roles, delivering his comedy in short bursts. His talent might work efficiently in smaller doses, as he has had already proved time and again in the past. It's obvious through the show that Arnett is trying to deliver mugged lines with punchlines that are highly overplayed. The humor just does not work out, which is surprising considering the fact that the role was written in Arnett's regular comic style.
Let's talk.
No, that's not gonna cut it.
Wait, you can't let a friendship die. Be dudes, like we're all dudes here.
Well put, Cooler.
Thank you.
It really is a shame because the show could have been an intriguing, dark comedy if the main character was maybe played by a stronger performer. The show just does not make it anywhere. Up next at number 3, we have Rob Schneider in Real Rob. If you've ever thought about what the world might look like through the eyes of Rob Schneider, this movie is the one that will answer all of your questions. This, however, did not stop Netflix from releasing a knockoff of Curb Your Enthusiasm starring Rob Schneider, a complete mess from start to finish.
We really want to work with you.
Thank you.
Script is perfect. There's just a couple ideas we'd like to run by you.
Okay.
First off, is this something you have to star in?
Rather than picking a style to go with the show, either by making it hilarious or insightful, the script has drawn every ideal from successful comedy shows and tried to bring it all together into Real Rob. Schneider's comedy and styling come off a bit as old-fashioned and entirely outdated. His performance in Real Rob is a new low with his hacky hammering and jokes that just don't work.
Your name?
Stephanie?
Is that with a PH or?
F.
F. Oh. Sorry, too late.
The show is written, produced, and directed entirely by him, and maybe he should have stuck to any one role for a better performance. Talking of the storyline, the plot follows the real life of Rob Schneider with his wife Patricia and daughter Miranda, played by his wife and daughter themselves. With a character that is not relatable nor likable, and truly with no real demography, it is puzzling as to why Netflix gave the green light for this show. And what makes it crazier is that the platform has okayed the show for a second season as well. We totally fear for those who wasted their precious time on this show.
Okay, you got the headphones on?
Wait. Now I have them on. I quit! I didn't hear what you said. I quit.
Coming in at number 2 on today's list is the entire cast of Friends from college. Yep, you heard that one right. The entire cast is getting the stick for this one. This is quite a surprising criticism when you take a look at the casting of the show. Taking a look at the talent and pedigree that the show has, one would expect at least some level of humor and comic timing. Quite sadly, the show failed to deliver on the bare minimum expectations that viewers had when hitting play.
We just need 1 minute of your time. 2 minutes.
Open the door!
Hey, don't. Sir, she's sorry. She doesn't mean that. Just if you can open the door for 1 minute.
The show was all over the place in every department, from the writing to the pacing of the story and every single little thing you could see. It failed to click at any point throughout the first season, but from all the mess, what really comes through is how much of a letdown the cast was. From one episode to the next, the acting, delivery, and expressions just seem to get worse. The reading and delivery are flat and facial exaggerations that are overly done for no apparent rhyme or reason, make the show a huge missed opportunity. The bouts of overacting simply ruined all of the dramatic moments. The cast is quite obviously devoid of any kind of chemistry that might please an audience. In actuality, the chemistry between the actors is so bad that one might think that the characters have a significant amount of hate for each other. Never mind the premise of the show, the characters are meant to be college friends. Definitely a show you want to stay away from so you can keep your college memories intact.
Yeah, we heard a weird thing. Do you talk about my dad's balls?
What was that?
So you went to Harvard?
Yeah, that's weird. That happened on our end.
I went to Princeton.
Like a police signal or something. Little help.
Coming in at the top spot, Emery Cohen in the OA. There are a ton of shows out there that deserve the title of wildly original or groundbreaking, but we cannot say with outright certainty that the OA is not one of them. The storyline of OA is built around the story of a young woman named Britt Marling who is blind. She then disappears for 7 years, and upon her return to the world, miraculously, her sight is restored. She tells her story, and a long mythical and magical tale begins to unravel. Eventually, the plot hints at her being some kind of dimension-jumping, immortal angel. Yes, quite the peculiar premise that spins around piles of knots and loops across its 2 seasons.
I remember everything.
The story in truth is quite thrilling, with the script taking unimaginable turns and twists that any viewer could not possibly predict or see coming. When we come to the cast and the acting side of things, however, compared to the script, the actors have not attempted to push their limits in any kind of way. The acting was subpar all across the board, with half-hearted attempts and mediocre performances from the entire cast. The pick of the bunch, however, was Emery Cohen, who did a complete botched-up job in the attempt to play his character. He played a character called Homer, who was the young woman Britt Marling's paramour, and in all honesty went way over the top in his portrayal, missing the mark by a long way. With his performance, we find it quite surprising that the woman in the show managed to develop any kind of attraction towards him in the first place. The story of the show itself is not the greatest bust in the world, but the acting department lets the entire show down. With that, we've come to the end of today's list of the top 5 Netflix shows with horrendously bad acting. What would your choice be for a Netflix show with bad acting? Let us know what we missed in the comments below. And before you leave, make sure to give us a like, share, and do subscribe to our channel for more. Thanks for watching. Until next time.